Howdy, 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 my beautiful Gemini. How are you doing today, darling? My name is SimplyVelca, and today we're going to be getting into your weekly tarot reading, Gemini, for December 2022, of course. All right, so if you do enjoy this tarot reading, Gemini, let me know in the comments below how this resonates with you. That's how I keep up with you, is through the comments, of course. As well, Gemini, when you are taking in your tarot readings on YouTube or whatever platform for your Zodiac sign, be sure you're checking out more than just your sun sign or just whatever Zodiac sign you're looking at, right? Just like in astrology, Gemini, you want to cater the energy to your chart, so check out your sun, moon, and your rising sign, darling, of course. And if you do enjoy these tarot readings, Gemini, the best way to support me is completely for free. Just give this video a like and subscribe, because it does really help me out a lot, and I always appreciate those who take that extra step to support me in that way, because I know y'all don't have to. So let's just get right into this here, Gemini, right? Enough of the babbling here. First thing I want to be pointing out to you is the Archangel Raziel is reaching out to you this week, Gemini. All right, so if you're trying to manifest anything in your life, if you're maybe perhaps recently, Gemini, you have been looking for like an extra little oomph, whatever an oomph is, right? A little bit of an extra nudge in trying to get something to manifest in your physical reality. Or even perhaps, Gemini, maybe you have been starting to feel inspired to create something of your own, right? Archangel Raziel would be the one that is willing to work with you this week. Now, regardless of your spiritual practices or what you connect to or anything like that, it's none of my business, right? So do what you feel is comfortable to you, of course, but I'm just the messenger, darling. I like to let you know your options here. And speaking of options, we have the Seven of Water as well as the King of Water coming in here for you, Gemini. All right. Now, this is some pretty interesting stuff here. I feel like at this current point in time, Gemini, you have, especially because of this King of Water, this King of Cups here, this leads me to believe of this place of where you have been doing a lot of personal work on yourself here, especially just like trying to be emotionally stable. I'm not saying you're unstable or anything like that, Gemini, but it's almost as if like there's just through the trials and complications of life, this is very much so like people trying to come towards you with drama, Gemini, and all this. It's like you're trying to just keep your head above water, pun not intended, but it works. You're trying to keep your head above water, so you can be about the magician, the creation process of trying to manifest things in this life, right? It's all fine and dandy to talk about like wanting to start a business and all this stuff like that, but it's really hard to do that, Gemini, right? Because you're having to deal with this Five of Wands, where it's like people trying to start drama, there's always just something there. And now with the Seven of Cups coming in here, Gemini, all right, this is leading me to believe where it's like, probably something in your current situation hasn't been necessarily emotionally fulfilling to you. So it's like you're looking for other options. You're trying to see if there's anything else available to you that's a little bit more mature. All right, that's really what I get here, Gemini, just with your overall energy. First impression is that I feel like you are, as you have continued to mature emotionally, in all facets here, it's like you have started to really outgrown things here, and I feel like it's time for you to start being open to trying something new. So let's take a look at what this Seven of Cups, like what are we trying to look at something new here? Ten of Swords coming in here. Okay, Gemini. All right, so when I see this Ten of Swords here, this is, tens represents closures to cycles, but it also represents the sense of like the ending of like a tough cycle, Gemini. So this leads me to believe maybe you're thinking about making a hard decision and being like, you know what, I've tried to make this relationship work. I know you're my family. I know we've been friends for years. I know we've been lovers. I know we've been married or what have you, right? I know I've worked at this job for so many years here, but it just isn't, fulfilling you or isn't doing what it needs to do for you anymore, right? And so I get this sense of where you are having this strong desire and cutting something out in your life and considering new options here. And so if you have been having those thoughts, Gemini, again, I'm going to go right back to Archangel Raziel here, all right? Even if you are not open to connecting to Archangel Raziel, the main message of this here is like you are able to do this, Gemini. If something is just not mature enough for you anymore, or it's just not providing for you what you need in your life at this time, it's time for you to move on. And it's okay for you to move on, because you get this confirmation of knowing that you could create something that really, it's like a time where it's like, Gemini, maybe you're working at a job and have been continuously working like the same type of jobs. Maybe you have been like a CNA, a nurse, a teacher, something like that. And at the one point in time, it served you. But, as things have deteriorated, as life gets complicated and as you dealt with it more and more, it's almost as if like each time you go to work, like there's always something more to complicate your thing, to complicate your life or to make your life harder. When it comes to connections, there's always something that some person has going on that is like, I really like, have you ever had someone in your life like that, Gemini? Obviously, probably because of these cards here, but it's like, those people in your life where it's just like you start talking to them, just like, oh man, I really like this person. And then as you start getting to know them more and they start talking more, and you're just like, whoa, wait a minute. I don't know if I actually like you. I don't know if I knew what I was setting myself up for, right? And that's what I get here for you, Gemini, is this place of where it's like, you're just, now it's just like, I don't know if I like this. I don't know if this is hitting in the way that it needs to hit for me anymore, right? And so, yeah, definitely, Gemini, I feel like you're being presented like a Two of Swords experience where it's like, do you continue down the same path that you've been going on, or do you do a change? Do you consider other options, all right? And if you do consider other options, just know your spiritual team is sitting there excitingly waiting for you, and they'll help you along that path there. They'll help show you different signs and leave different breadcrumbs to assist you to getting to your destination there, but you just have to keep an open mind. All right, so let's take a look at what's manifesting for you in its current point in time. First card that we pull is the ego card. Gemini, let's pull a couple more here before we go into this here. The second card is the Queen of Air, or the Queen of Swords, Gemini, and then afterwards we have the Two of Fire, Two of Wands here. All right, Two of Wands, Queen of Swords, and Ego card. So what you have been manifesting here, Gemini, is like the more that you're honest with yourself, quite literally, the more that it's like you're going to notice life starting to open up for you here. So it's like, let's just say, for example, let's continue on with that old narrative here, Gemini, from these other cards, where it's like that job just isn't fulfilling for you anymore. And it's like, as you start waking up and being like, what, it's like, oh, Queen of Swords, it's like, this just isn't feeling good to me anymore. I want to practice boundaries with this job. I want to, no longer pick up extra shifts, and if I request time off, I'm going to take the time off, right? Or that Queen of Swords being like, I think I'm going to practice boundaries with this person here, because it's like you're identifying the devil, right? Because excuse me, the devil, Gemini, is the ego card in this deck. So it's like you are able to identify like a devil in your life, whatever that is, right? Whether it's a human or a situation. And it's like, as you start acknowledging it and you start putting distance between yourself and that situation, Two of Wands comes in here. All right, Gemini, now I'm going to read this off to you if you can't see. This card at the bottom says you've come into your own new partnerships or contracts and continue moving forward. Now, I make it a point to read it off to you, Gemini, so you understand, like, I'm not just saying these things just to say things here, right? The Two of Wands represents contracts and setting you up for your future here. So it's like, Gemini, all you have to really start doing is asking questions. All you have to start doing is being like, is this enough? Is this good enough for me? Because it's like, as you start asking questions, as you start, observing things and be like, do I deserve better? It's like in that same time period, it's like as I said before, and like your spiritual team is going to start showing signs of where you could be going if you keep an open mind. So it's like, as you start questioning things and you're just like, maybe I want to switch things up, that's when you're going to start noticing the different signs of where spirit's like suggesting to you, be like, oh, hey, Gemini, have you considered checking out this thing over here? Right? So that's why I want you to be paying attention to. So let's clarify this a little bit though. Page of Wands, pages represents new energy, Gemini, but Page of Wands, sorry about that, my darling Gemini, my camera cut off. So as I was trying to get to with this Page of Wands, and then I ended up pulling the Two of Swords as well, which I even mentioned at the beginning of this video that your energy was giving me very much so Two of Swords, right? But unfortunately, you couldn't see me pull it out. So maybe anyways, here, the Page of Wands, pages represents new energy coming into your life, right? And then the Wands aspect, it's that fiery energy, right, Gemini? So we're talking about passions. We're talking about whatever this new energy is, opportunity, right? Page of Wands by definition represents new opportunity stepping forward for you, all right? This new opportunity coming in is just very passion oriented, something that's going to start making you feel alive, have you feel inspired for life again. But it's going to come in that sense of a crossroads where it's like you have to make the decision to be like, all right, am I going to continue down the same path that it's always been, right? Or am I going to change things up? And Spirit's going to really try to help you make your decision by spicing it up a little bit, by showing to you what your life could be like. And I wouldn't even be really surprised, Gemini, if the opportunity for like a contract or something that sets you up for the long term, or at the very least, I would say like you'll be able to really understand or see where this could take you for the future, long-term future, Gemini. I feel like that would happen pretty quickly for you. All right, darling. So that's what I got on that, Gemini. Let's give you, let's take a quick look when it comes to your social situation, see if there's anything that needs to come up in that regard. And then I'll leave you to it, Gemini. I'll leave you to the rest of your day. All right, we have the World card. Y'all are getting a lot of archangels today, Gemini. You have the World card, Archangel Michael, as well as the Page of Water, darling. When I talk about pages, Page of Water, very fitting to have with the World card, because the World card is the final card in the major arcana, rather, Gemini. And the, as we said, it represents that sense of closing of a chapter, and then that page is that new energy. So it's like you're closing out a chapter in your life when it comes to some type of social situation, all right? And this could be in a sense where it's like quite literally you're just no longer talking to them, right? Especially from that Queen of Air, that Queen of Swords we were talking about beforehand. Maybe that's where you're setting the boundary and you're just like, you know what, this family dynamic, I don't enjoy this, I don't enjoy this relationship, whatever the case is here. And then it's so interesting to me, Gemini, how all your cards are like shaping up into being in such a way where it's like as you're closing a book, as you're finishing a chapter, the next chapter begins right afterwards. And that's how a story is, right? When you go from chapter 1 to chapter 2. But you understand what I'm saying there, Gemini. It's like, it's just so interesting to me where it's like, maybe you guys are going through like your own personal awakening process, or just, maybe on some level you're just understanding what you need to do next, and having like a better understanding and being like, oh, these people are like meant for a season. All right. Page of Cups here with the star energy. Now, I know I don't normally like to talk about soulmates and twin flames, Gemini, because it's just such a corny thing. But when I have that star energy with the Page of Cups, I can tell you that there does seem to be like some person that's meant to be part of your life, that was going to be part of your life one way or another, is about to be showing up in your life as well. So it's really interesting how you have all this new energy, but also this overall sense, Gemini, of like really just deeper connections. It's like once you finally make the decision being like, oh, okay, these family dynamics, they ain't cutting it. I don't like this toxicity and all that there. And it's like Spirit's finally like, yes, finally Gemini is finally understanding that these traits are not good, and then let's provide to them someone of more substance, someone that's going to be part of their soul family, right? So very quick and to the point with that there, Gemini. This could be romantically or platonically. I never like to attach what type of emotions it'll be. Is just human to human companionship at the end of the day there. All right, but be anticipating that. All right, so this isn't really the time, Gemini, to be like being like, oh, like I just cut out all these people in my life, I'm going to just like not talk to anybody and just make this year about me. It's like, I mean, you can do that, nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying that you would be seemingly missing a really solid opportunity for a new connection there. All right. So getting into your oracle cards for today, for your oracle reading, Gemini, you have the last quarter moon in Scorpio. Reveal what needs to be seen. Reveal what needs to be seen. Have you been contemplating calling somebody out, Gemini? Calling out calling out the devil, or calling out the red flags? Is that what's been going on for you here? I do get this sense, Gemini, where it's like, when I see this reveal what needs to be seen here, like when I think about this, it's like there's like something that you already have in your awareness, and it's just like for whatever reason you've been keeping it tame. Maybe even like reveal what needs to be seen is like just like the more authentic version of yourself, of where being like, oh, I don't actually want to be a teacher anymore, I want to run a bakery, I want to write stories, I want to write poetry, right? Whatever the case is. But there is this sense of like needing to let something out, stop being a wallflower in that regard. So Gemini, your oracle card, your animal oracle card, is the grasshopper spirit, number 30, equaling to 3 in numerology. So write down that number to see how that resonates later on, what messages that has. All right, it's my favorite number, Gemini. But the grasshopper spirit talks about taking a leap of faith. Right, so you can see how all this kind of goes hand in hand with one another. So we don't really need to continue on harping on the same things we've been talking about, Gemini. Just understand that You know, all your cards keep on talking about these same similar things here, darling. So it's like, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna take that leap of faith, or what you gonna do, Gemini? You let me know. But other than that, that's the weekly tarot reading that I have for you today, Gemini. Hopefully something in here resonated with you. If it did, you know what to do in the comments, and just give this video a like and subscribe, and I'll connect to you sometime in the near future. I love you so much, Gemini. Bye, darling.